Hi friends, today we are going to discuss hysteresis loop. Before we start the hysteresis loop, we must know some required definition to understand the hysteresis loop. So hysteresis loop, in this we first know that we should know that there are two types of magnets, that is permanent magnet and electromagnet. In that, in permanent magnet, there are, you have seen, there are two poles, n pole and s pole. Okay, and while we are talking about electromagnet, when a solenoid is taken and the current is the coil is put around it and the current is passed through that coil, then it will behave as a solenoid, behave as a electromagnet. So continue with the topic. Magnetic dipole moment. So the dipole moment is defined as the product of magnetic pole strength and length of the magnet. It is given by M is equal to M into L. So as you see in the picture, I have shown one arrow. Okay, so arrow represent poles, so S pole and N pole. So N, the arrow's direction towards N indicates that the lines of forces are emitting by N pole and entering into S pole. So we will discuss. This is a in second picture, that is the lattice of that any other component or any other metal. The lattice point is lattice is given. Internal structure of that poles are given, shown. Again, the magnetic, what is the magnetic lines of force? So in bar magnet, you can see in the picture, there are some lines are at N pole the lines are emitted, and at S pole the lines are coming into the bar magnet. So that lines, so the continuous curve in magnetic field that exists from north pole to south pole is called as magnetic lines of forces. Okay, every magnet possesses this property. So there are in electromagnet as well as permanent magnet, the lines of forces are present. So what is the magnetic field? So magnetic field is the space around which the magnetic lines of forces exist. Okay, so magnetic field is produced by permanent magnet, such as the, you have seen the horseshoe magnet, and electromagnet also produces the magnetic field. But up to when up till now the current flows through that coil or electromagnet, up to that point or that extent it will produce as the magnetic field. So magnetic field basically is surrounded around the magnetic solenoid. Okay, magnetic field strength. So magnetic field strength is nothing but when substance is placed in external magnetic field, the material gets magnetized, and the actual magnetic field inside the material is sum of external field and the field due to the magnetization. It is denoted by H. Okay, so the strength is magnetic field strength is nothing but the substance external magnetic field as well as its internal magnetic field, summation of that both. Intensity of magnetization. So intensity of magnetization is denoted by letter I, and intensity of magnetization is defined as the magnetic moment per unit volume of the magnetized material. So we have seen two different definitions that are required for the magnetic field strength as well as magnetic intensity of magnetization. So for hysteresis loop, it is basically a 4-quadrant graph that is also called as BH curve. Okay, from that curve you can find out hysteresis law, you can get coercive force and retentivity. Okay, so to understand the hysteresis loop, you must know hysteresis means lagging, that is the lagging of intensity of magnetization I behind the intensity of magnetic field H. So graph is drawn between the intensity of magnetization I and the intensity of magnetization H. So intensity of magnetization depends upon flux density, I depends upon flux density, okay, and the cycles of magnetization. So we will see the experimental setup over here. So for understanding hysteresis loop, the setup consists of solenoid coil through which the current is passed and the material is magnetized. The current is passed and material is magnetized. So regarding this, how we can make the arrangement? So in picture you can see that there is a one solenoid and the wire is wound around it and the supply is given at 2 terminals. Okay, as soon as the current flowing through that terminal, the current can be controlled by putting one resistor in between the connectors and the battery, so you can make the change in the current flow. Okay, the coil is connected to the supply through variable resistor. Okay, so what will happen, as soon as we increase the supply current, so there is no existence of flux density and magnetizing force. When there is no input, so there is no existence of B. So we will see the directly graph. Okay, at point O, suppose that center point where the dotted line started, at that point, suppose it, you can say it as a O point or origin of that graph. So at point O there is nothing when you have no input. When the current is increased from 0 to some value, a certain value, magnetizing force and flux density both are set up or increased with point O to dotted line through dotted line, and it will get increased. Okay, at certain value of current, flux density becomes maximum as well as the H becomes maximum, and at that time when B maximum comes, it indicates the magnetic saturation, and at that point if you further increase the current through that solenoid, then also the flux density will not increase. Okay, so that is the saturation of that material. All element of core material gets aligned perfectly. So at that point H also get maximized, or H max is obtained. Further increment of current, there is no any change in that flux density, so it is called as saturation point, that is shown in the figure. Again, so dotted point is come. Again, if we decrease the current value, then what will happen, we will see. so your graph will not come as it raised. Okay, it will come slightly change in position. So when you decrease the current from saturation point to 0, the H is decreased along with decrement of B. Okay, and it will not follow the previous path. Okay, so at point where the remains is written, so when you come up to the 0 current, so H will become 0, but B flux density will not become 0. So in that magnetic field there, in that material or solenoid, there should be some magnetism exist. Okay, that is called as remiance. Okay, so there is some property, the magnetic property, so it will remain in that material. It also called as residual magnetism. Okay, so it will remains in that point. Again, how will get the less or zero flux density? So you have to reverse the direction of current. So again I have shown in this figure reversing the supply. Okay, so previously we have put positive in right hand side, right now we have put positive at left hand side. So direction of current is changed. So what will happen, if the direction of current is I reverse, the direction of H also get reversed. The increment of H is reverse direction increases the value of residual magnetism Pr, that gets 0 with certain negative value of H. This negative value of H is called Cauchy force. So we will see in this diagram. So when at point B, at flux density is somewhat in residual magnetism, consider that stage. So further we increase the current in reverse direction. So the point B comes downward side and it will become 0, but at that time H is not 0, H has some negative side value, so that is called as Cauchy force. So further we increase, H is more increased, then B gets reversed in following, so it gets 0, and again it will attain the maximum saturation point in reverse direction at exact replica of the previous one. And further we go again for forward direction, it will come again up to the 0. So this shape is called as hysteresis loop. According to this, the hysteresis loop is drawn. If the direction of H again reversed by reversing the current I, then residual magnetism or residual flux density again decreases and gets 0 point, and it will go upwards direction. Okay, and the total path is carried out. So these are the some importance in the concept hysteresis loop. So some points are there, you can mainly remember that smaller hysteresis loop area gives the less hysteresis loss. Okay, so what is hysteresis loss? It will be shown in next video. Again, hysteresis loop provides the value of retentivity and corrosivity of material. So these two things we have we have discussed. So these two things will be given by the hysteresis graph. Okay, so for some requirement or application, as per application, there are some hard magnetic material, soft magnetic material, and their different hysteresis loops are there. So you can get, according to that coercive force and retentivity, according to that you will get what is which type of material we should use. Okay, thank you guys.